The theory online
the Red Skull wins.
SpiderMan is the Spider-Man movie that's coming out. Mysterio is not really from another Earth. Is a theory right now coming out. You know how in the trailer, Nick Fury's like he's from another Earth. Well, Kevin Smith actually brought this up coincidentally. We were talking about him earlier. His theory is that Quentin Beck is a liar. He always is. In every series, no matter how.
That's actually a good hypothesis.
So like, what if he's not really from Earth? This is just him being a fucking Mysterio.
That'd be a good theory.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think.
And the whole movie is Spider-Man figuring out it's all.
I remember,
Mysterio. I don't think that's going to be the case.
We talked about this earlier too. Before we mentioned earlier, is we said this earlier was that he's actually lying. Remember that he's lying about.
Oh yeah.
Everything,
the elementals and all of it,
It's his powers or some shit.
Illusions.
It's all illusions.
I hope for Marvel's sake that that's the case, because this could easily kill Spider-Man for me. If they were like
multiverse.
No, it's not the multiverse. It's just, why did you have to pick that character to be a good guy? You could have went 100 ways, and you chose for him to be a good guy from another dimension.
Let me say one thing that Will and you guys mentioned earlier in probably episode 4 or 5, and you said why show Mysterio's face because named Mysterio, and why show that before Endgame? You know how hyped people would be and how thirsty they would be if they didn't get any trailers or any hints of Phase 4,
no Spider-Man, anything.
No Spider-Man, no
Guardians.
No Guardians, no Black Panther 2. So what? People kind of already knew it was coming. So when people saw Endgame, which they
spoiled that too.
Yeah, and it was just
they told everybody Iron Man was still alive when we didn't know.
And I just realized we got no proton cannon.
Of course we didn't, because we got a fucking snap.
Yeah, that's it. Concept art. That's so lame.
And it wasn't even like a suit that he built. It was just the same extremis. Because it's nanotech, so you can manipulate it anywhere on his body.
God damn.
It was too much bullshit time travel. Okay, we already did this review actually. Never mind.
So what do you guys think Phase 4 of Marvel will be from what we know? Since we already know we're going to be Guardians 3, a Black Panther 2.
The new Avengers.
Black Captain America. Captain Marvel's out there. We still don't know anything about Adam. Yeah, Fat Boy Thor's with the Guardian.
I do think it's going to be the beginning of the new Avengers.
You got to remember too, Gamora is back, but it's not this Gamora from I guess our timeline.
Wait, she didn't get snapped away?
Not
by Tony Stark?
Who?
Neither Nebula.
At the end? Oh yeah.
No, he said he only snapped away he kept
Thanos'
army.
Well, past Gamora,
Tony Stark kept.
That's
Gamora
why I hate the snap.
Chris Pratt.
That's why I hate the snap. Anybody.
But
the snapping.
I think they hinted that she's not going to be in the next Guardians, though. Remember, they show everybody on the ship and she's not there.
No, I think she is. I remember I was telling you about this. Will is that
she's just not in the ship with them.
They're gonna have that same little.
Yeah, we're together, but we're not together.
That little chemistry with them.
They reset it. Yeah.
Where it's just like
time travel overcomplicated it, and I think they should have done something way more simple. And they shouldn't have done past Thanos comes to the future because future Thanos is dead because
that's what I mean with the past Gamora. She doesn't know who Peter Quill is.
It's before she met him.
Yeah, so she's gonna be all about
she's reset back before they met. Basically,
yeah, it's
she doesn't have emotions again, and she's like a robot.
It's gonna be that
chasing that's such a lazy way to continue with this.
That's why I don't like time travel. Because they just snap everything back.
Time travel movies can be good.
Hell yeah, they can.
The way they did their time travel was pretty bad because they
tried to
pretty
set
much
their own rules and then broke them.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Nebula killed herself in the past. Just saying.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah, she did kill herself in the past.
It could have been cool
if
they didn't drag out so much shit.
Yeah.
It could have been cool if they didn't drag out so much future shit.
Yeah.
And going into the future,
we should have got more action. We should have got way more Professor Hulk scenes, not like the bullshit we got.
Cut down the first hour and then speed through 30 minutes and they're going into the future to be a team and that could have been dope.
Dude, I mean people are making videos, so many videos about this stuff that they're like, oh, why did fucking Hulk Ant-Man those tacos? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, that's the most important
because
question.
His taco got knocked over by the helicopter, obviously.
No, dude, but the Hulk needs it for his metabolism, bro. That was selfish of his. He was
well,
selfless.
first of all, why does Hulk have normal-sized tacos? That'd be like eating little...
Yeah, what did he crush him?
Yeah.
How did he hand them to him so perfectly?
He's like, here you go.
2 fingers.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I thought what we got of Hulk was horrible.
Unless he's not Professor Big Dick and he has a tiny dick, he has to work.
Oh,
I really do think
he solved it.
He solved it.
That Professor Hulk was really underutilized. Like, Hulk so far has been underutilized a lot.
He was, definitely.
But in this movie, it was worse. Because they took away the Bruce Banner aspect. They gave him a little bit of some sciencey stuff.
They kept the
not
Bruce Banner
much.
aspect. I think
I wanted to see more like
Hulk,
in his lab, like actually doing some shit with the Hulk, not
I guess
like
that time travel or like the
8 months or whatever he said it took.
The
5 years.
No. With when they did the time scene with Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, where they kept aging him.
That's like the only science thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wanted to see like they hit it. Oh, we're gonna get Professor Hulk, but guess what? There's only like 1 scene with him doing anything cool. It's 2 actually with the gauntlet, and he blows his own arm off.
Cool though. And he holds up a building or whatever. He's like,
with 1 arm, yeah. Basically, I think they underutilize him and a couple other characters because they were like, well, we put too much other stuff in it. We don't have time for this. They probably cut a bunch out of the movie already to make it only 3 hours.
That's true.
But, I don't know. I think they underutilized Hulk for like the past 2-3 movies, except for Ragnarok. They did a lot with him.
Thor Ragnarok was kind of
Infinity War really was the beginning of Hulk being a little bitch. Doesn't fit his character at all. That scene where he just gives up and he's like, no! They could have done something so much better with it, and instead he's like, oh, I'm just going to be friends with the Hulk instead.
Do you guys think Spider-Man will end up getting his own Avengers team?
Yeah, he's going to. I think that's what I think the next phase is going to be him leading it.
Yeah.
I do think they're hinting at
what
that.
about Captain Marvel?
I don't think she's going to do that because she's going to go all over the universe.
Good point.
She's not going to lead a team on Earth.
But that's what I was, the Eternals, that's another thing I was going to talk about.
That's a galactic kind of thing like Guardians. See, I think if they're going to do that, it'll probably be its own thing.
Yeah.
It probably won't be like The Avengers. Or it'll be like The Eternals, the movie, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Do you think that'll kind of
Captain Marvel and The Eternals?
You think that'll kind of take away from anything that happens on Earth? Like with Marvel?
Trivialize it a little bit?
Yeah. Like
no, because Earth's really important.
Oh, that scared me for some reason. I thought like a bird flew into the window.
It's the fucking end of the world the podcast. This is the end podcast.
Well, you gotta think they also did like a 30-second thing for the female, which nobody asked for. So
you're gonna,
like I said, they're not.
Disney
but that's what I
mean.
They're not gonna satisfy everybody.
That shit was so funny, dude. That one.
They're really trying to satisfy the
obvious.
PC crowd. I get it.
Yeah, what they were.
They're trying to protect the
hilarious.
strongest character in Captain Marvel with the fucking gauntlet.
I know.
Let's protect this person who's stronger than all of us combined, who has the gauntlet.
Dude,
makes so much sense. Girl power.
Girl power.
Girl power.
Yeah,
you're right. Like in reality, she could have just been like, "I might live."
Yeah.
I might live.
No, she would not live.
No, she's a little bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Because that
character.
Also, what even is she? Is she a human?
She's a human infused with the space stone. She's like the human infused with Kree blood with a space stone. Fucking.
Okay, so she's Black Panther #2. Got it.
Wow.
Retconned hero.
I like the Black Panther character, dude.
I liked him too in Spider-Man and all the cartoons he was in and stuff like that. But that fucking Black Panther is just Captain America, bro.
You don't like
he's Black Captain America.
I like that character, dude. He's dope.
You don't like the
Black Panther?
Yeah, the current actor. Are you just going with all the media and everything, or it's like, it's everybody who.
He's monumental kind of thing. Like,
I didn't mind the actor. The actor was fine.
Are you like okay?
I was just.
I'm not trying to. Okay, so
I just didn't like that they changed him. They made him like Batman.
Like from the canon stories.
They made him like use high tech stuff, and he never did that before. And if he did, it wasn't like a flying car. It was like a fucking smoke bomb. Mm. So they did modernize it a lot.
But Wakanda was always super advanced,
right? But he never had no flying invisible car, dude.
When's the last?
Okay, and if he did, I don't remember.
Fair enough.
We gotta also think what Black Panther comic are you basing
this
not a comic. I'm not basing it on a comic. I'm just basing off all the stuff I've seen from him. So
Like,
from cartoons,
because there's a good amount of Black Panther adaptations and comics. So
there's a lot. Just
big background.
You might
big background on that character.
There might be a version where he does eat a fruit that gives him super soldier strength, but I don't remember that being the case before.
I don't remember much. I just know the movie was good. I like the movie, but it was because of that actor and them adding technology for me was kind of like just like I'm gonna be biased for. Cause
I think
like,
I wanted it to
Iron
be
Man 1 because it was the tech.
I really wanted it to be more like Batman, like he's more like in the shadows and stuff.
I also think they added that as to be like.
Because don't panthers hunt like
have
prowl
a
and
connection?
That's why
he doesn't do that really.
They also wanted. I think they wanted to include that so they could have a connection with the MCU where vibranium, and this is pretty much where it comes from. Because they get vibranium.
Wait, how does the shield get repaired?
It doesn't.
It's broken when he hands it to what's his name?
Well, it's repaired, but if he went back in time,
I mean, who else could? Why would Wakanda people?
Damn, I didn't even think about that. The shield was totally broken in half.
But Wakanda.
Wakanda has hella vibranium.
Oh yeah, they can fix the shield, huh?
Yeah. They have hella vibranium. Their whole island is made of it.
I want you to tell Josh how you felt about the time travel with
Captain America.
Captain America.
About how he became old. I want to see if Josh.
I think it was basically a
loophole.
We're gonna fix everything with this one thing, and it was just didn't make sense. There was a lot of things they didn't explain, like how did he make the reality stone into a stone again? How did he get it back into the girl? Because he had to put it back into her body, right? The red goo.
Oh yeah, so.
And how did he get the staff back?
He's like swallowed this.
You know what I mean? They took the stone out of the staff. The Tesseract's gone. What the fuck?
That was a quick way to speed through a lot of like relevant shit.
Basically, my point was they just fix it as Captain America fix everything somehow, some way.
I feel like they missed a huge opportunity with Red Skull and Captain America.
Yeah,
that's my
kind of weird that he's his main villain and he pops up in the movie, but they never interact.
Well, you know what the problem? What I read about.
Also, Bucky should have got the shield.
I read that after Captain America and
he should have made it into a triangle instead.
After Captain America, you remember what's his name? The guy who played Red Skull, right?
Yeah.
So
it's what's his name? Mr.
Smith from Matrix. So Hugh.
Still the same actor in this, right?
No, it's not.
He was V for Vendetta, also.
Really?
Yeah, he was the guy.
That's a really good movie.
So what you're saying, what I think with the stones and everything is Captain America, like they said, they
maybe use one stone to get them all back to their original state.
Well, it's pretty much they gave him enough to shrink down and go back in time or whatever.
Yeah.
Replace the stone, so it'd be like my beard disappears, and I'm like, what the heck? But and then one like millisecond later,
it reappears.
It's like boom, boom, and it's like, what the fuck? Okay, I must have drank too many beers. It's something like that. You know what I mean?
They tried to basically say that he went back to that exact moment. Right? That's how Hulk explains it.
And then you were saying afterwards, too, because I think a lot of people were kind of confused about this, too.
They just didn't explain it enough.
Is how he became an old man, and how was he able to go back in time without kind of
Wait, so that version of Captain America was never in the ice?
Mm-hmm.
He was?
He was that same Captain America. He just ended up going from... Everything that's happened...
Lived his life and then time traveled again?
He never went back and replaced himself. He never replaced his old self. He went back in time, so...
Yeah.
This is the timeline. So, Captain America, everything happens in the timeline. Captain America, everything, and then he goes back in time, replace the stone, the hammer, all that stuff, and then he's still here. His timeline still happened. He never, ever undid any of that stuff. So he jumps back to where he wants to go, and so when he's there, that timeline with him still there because, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I
get what you're saying. Basically, he's never like changed anything, really.
If I drop my cup, and then I went to the bathroom, I traveled back into the past, and I came up here as an old man, I still dropped my cup. Because I still did that, but you know what I mean?
I don't know.
He tried to live the life.
I think I watched a lot of... My bad, what were you going to say?
I just want to point out, they didn't show any of what you just said either. They just clipped one thing to another.
But they did little explanations.
Hold on, you're right. Hold on, no, you're right. What the fuck? I didn't even think about
any of that.
No, hold on. What the fuck? How would have he ended up at the same timeline?
No, because...
Wait, you mean the future? The present?
How did Captain America, if he came back and he was like, they were like, don't run into yourself, kind of thing. How did he run back into
his... Those rules were not very strict.
So just think of it like this: when he was fighting himself.
Oh, he made the other. He made himself go to that original.
Just remember this, yeah.
When he went back, was Loki too.
And just remember this.
That's right.
When he fought himself, and then he fought like just two of them at the same time. At that point, there's three of them, because that was that point. Endgame.
Yeah,
we're gonna go back,
and then that was the back in time, and then the very end of him. At this point in Endgame, the future Cap that was old.
My God, that's
would have been
so
like,
confusing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so right. That is so confusing. I don't like that. Like, yeah, I know.
But why would he be older? That's my question.
Because
he lived out his life.
Yeah, because that's the same Captain America. That
so it'd be like.
But if he's
it'd be like if you went back back to when we were kids.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
He traveled through time twice or three times.
So it'd be like, think of it like this: you disappear now, but
if I went to the past, I would stop existing now. Yeah.
We run into you tomorrow, but you got transferred like 20 years ago. And we run into you tomorrow, and you're like, I got transferred back in time and fucking
had to re-age again.
But you're old.
Yeah, because you had to live your life to that point.
Yeah. So you pretty much lived and aged.
But he didn't do that. He time traveled.
I know,
exactly.
He was
after he was already aged.
Yeah, he was already aged, so he went back and then.
No, he wasn't an old man.
No. When he went back in time, though, he wasn't like a 20-year-old.
He never replaced his younger self.
Yeah,
he was already at the end of that age, Endgame age, how old he was. He
was already there.
So.
Remember, it was
he's
5
30
years
when he went back in time. He didn't replace. He didn't go back in time and turn 28 or 22 or whatever. He's still 38.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
It's not like in X-Men when in Days of Future Past when Wolverine
replaces
his
old self.
He replaces his
young
self.
Actually
young again.
That's usually how it goes, right? In time travel.
I don't know.
I thought that's usually how it is.
You know.
I think Ant-Man showed us that.
There's so many different types of time travel. That's one of the things. But like generally, if you
I really don't think they should. I don't think they should have established the rules in the beginning. They shouldn't have done any of that. They should have just not said that.
I mean, time travel is just a theory in general, and they already did say like you were saying, they tried to establish
rules and then immediately broke them.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny because it's like, why even have that scene after you know that they're gonna break it? You know what I mean?
I think it was just to disarm the crowd and just be like, haha, it's funny.
Also,
time travel, blah, blah, and then time travel happens, and you're like, totally like. I think it's just meant to just be like, okay.
A lot of the times,
overstimulated.
I think another reason why they cut it is because they could just have a fan be like, yeah, this is what they did, and then that is like, yeah, that's kind of explains it.
I think it also the way they did the time travel was like what they did with the Doctor Strange, where he saw 14 million different possibilities or whatever. And so when people will be like, well, why didn't he do this? Or why didn't... So people could be like, he saw all that in different dimensions. That's why he's doing this one, because...
Yeah, because that was the only way. If he would go back 3 different times or some shit like that.
Yeah, this is the only timeline that works. If he would have done that, they would have lost forever.
I'll be real, I liked Endgame. I really did, because I'm a fanboy, and I like the movie, and I like seeing the stuff. There are questions that I have, and I'll rewatch it and be like, okay, what the fuck, kind of thing. But I'll still, in the end, rewatch it a bunch of times. But like, there are questions I still have.
It's too long to rewatch it a bunch of times.
I'll skip parts.
Maybe
Lord of the Rings.
I mean, it's one of those things you could probably just turn on and watch, or it's like, fall
asleep to it. Background noise, fall asleep to it. Yeah, it's a good movie. Like, it's just.
Definitely
you're right. There are moments that you have where you're like, what?
Yeah.
What? How does that make sense? Or like, why did that happen? And like, you feel like totally snurring.
Or they go in this direction, or they could have done this.
Yeah, like a good example was him being old, him coming back and being old. My question, or my little sidebar for that topic is, why did they have him come back and be old, and why didn't it?
Well, so the new guy can be Cap.
Why didn't they just have him get killed or trapped in another dimension by Red Skull, and then make the Winter Soldier the new Captain America, just like in the comics? That would have been such.
Well, they want more. They want more racial diversity.
I think if you would have killed 2 Marvel characters, people would have been mad. So.
They did.
You're right. Iron
yeah,
Man,
but I mean,
Scarlett
Iron Man dies.
Johansson, and
they
fucking
did, yeah.
They
Captain
killed a
America.
bunch of characters,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, you got to think it's a happy ending for Cap, so at least you know what I mean.
It really is because he
lived his life with his wife or whatever,
And had 2 kids.
Yeah, because it was Iron Man who started it.
Yeah, he has 2 kids, just to let you guys know.
Oh, fucking yeah.
There's 2 kids with super soldier
That's
DNA.
why he didn't say anything.
I read that actually earlier today. I read
Dude,
something
that's
talking
a
about
good
that.
catch.
Because
Now
they
that
talk
you say
about
that,
Peg's
I didn't
husband.
Think about that.
Okay, this is a theory, a fan theory. They talk about his love's husband, or his love of his life's husband.
Yeah.
It's actually him. He didn't realize that he'd always gone back in time and fixed it.
I think
this is a fan theory, yeah.
I think that's a little
But-
before they thought of all
But
of
here's
this.
the thing, though. He does have 2 kids with her, and funny enough, she has 2 kids in the picture. They never show the dad, but it is implied that it is Captain America because of time travel.
If they get that,
Booyah.
if they get that,
You heard it
then
on Snerdcast.
That was a fan theory. I'm pretty sure I read online on Reddit.
I mean, if that's true, then damn, that they did. That was,
I read a lot of shit on Reddit
that
before
means
we
that
watched
means they
Endgame, and
were
they
on
spoiled a
phase
lot of it.
2 on writing phase 3.
A lot of people
You
predicted
know what
that
I mean?
Yeah.
Hulk was going to wear the glove. A lot of people predicted that
A
Hulk
lot
was
of
going to
people
wear the
predicted.
glove.
I mean,
Yeah, because it's
Come on, dude.
you like doing a tally vote. Who's gonna wear the
there,
glove? You know what I
If
mean?
you want to go there, right after we watched Infinity War, we
Three
all
people-
knew
three people
that
wore it, I
the
guess.
movie was going to be about the one scenario, the Doctor Strange scene. We all knew that. We were like, oh, he said that.
But we really
only
didn't get
one
enough of
worked.
that, honestly.
But we knew. We were like, this is going to be all about the one scenario, and by the end of
that one
Endgame-
6-minute
No.
scenario.
I
Yeah, the
still
one in
what
game
always
we'll
stands
know.
what will always stand out to me in that movie is Doctor Strange just pointing that finger up, and it was just like that for me. That was, I don't know why it was so iconic. I think for whatever reason I just became a huge Doctor Strange fan.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he is a fucking blockbuster
I loved his movie,
character.
by the way. Doctor Strange, the
Yeah.
movie was a
One of the best Marvel
movies they've
ever
best
made.
It was a
ones,
good
that
one.
movie.
It really
To
fit
Marvel,
the character.
Come to bargain.
He just keeps getting cat.
Yeah.
That scene is actually really cool, though.
I know.
really like that scene.
You know what it reminds me of? SpiderMan, the cartoon from the 90s.
Yeah.
When that Doctor Strange in that cartoon,
And
in
Venom
that
and
movie,
Carnage.
oh my God, was
With
so
Carnage is
good.
stealing people's souls.
Yeah, fucking
To
Dormammu
open the
has
door.
Carnage
Yeah.
take all the souls of people so he
man.
can come back, and Carnage
Well,
just goes on a.
I'm glad you brought up the Carnage thing because
Venom
Will
2,
was
yeah.
talking about Venom 2.
I saw a
He
picture with Woody Harrelson, and
Yeah.
he's basically the Venom poster, where he's got
I
the symbiote
know,
face with the veins,
I
and you're
know.
like,
I don't like that stuff because
Would
I
you
can't
guys-
tell if it's real.
yeah, I know,
So
it probably
let's-
is fake.
Let's say this. Let's say Sony keeps on making X-Men films and the Venom films.
Well, let's
say
be honest,
let's-
Dark Phoenix is gonna
let's
flop
say-
so hard.
And then let's say they make...
Sony doesn't own X-Men.
And not
It
anymore
went-
yet.
it
That's
went back.
21st, right?
It went back.
It was 21st. It was Fox.
Fox.
It was 21st
Oh, yeah.
Century or whatever, and Marvel just bought them. So now Marvel owns X-Men
Yeah.
and Fantastic Four.
Okay, so
So Sony is
That's
going to
Venom.
own like
I have a
Spider-Man,
question. I have a question
all
for
the
you
villains
guys.
of Spider-Man.
Would you rather have a crazy introduction, like how Spider-Man was to Civil War, and have maybe like an X-Men or a what's that called, a Fantastic Four character,
Good question.
like hop into this next Spider-Man movie, or even
Oh,
Why not?
wow!
Like
Yeah,
Johnny
good
Fl-
fucking
Johnny
idea.
Flame, or what's his
Yeah,
name?
if he flew into the city like in Web of Shadows.
Yeah,
or
what's his name? Johnny Storm.
Johnny
There you go.
Storm, dude, in Web of Shadows. That's
Come on.
what happens in Web of Shadows when the symbiotes take
Really?
over New York. Johnny Flame all of a sudden flies in, and you have to, or is that Ultimate Spider-Man?
You know what would also be cool is X23.
But he flies in, and you have to deal with it. That would be dope.
I think it would be
That
a good
be
way to
sick.
introduce X23.
would that be instead of like so they introduce a new
Mysterio and Spider-Man in the new movie.
So
Out of all the villains, why Mysterio?
But if they did that, hold on. What,
And why
I
they do
like
it that way?
If they did it,
or
if they
instead
did
of
that,
instead of a character like one of those like a Fantastic Four character, like
Or
introduce a
act-
villain, one of their
Doctor Doom?
villains.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Doom.
Who's a huge villain?
oh my god, like the just
would
him
set
and
up
the character,
Sinister Six
yeah,
or
just
whatever,
like the
right?
character. So that with the gap, oh my
Is it
god,
Sinister Six?
why haven't they done that? That
Is that in 2 parts? Because it would have to be like 2 or 3 parts, right? they never do that.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope that
it would be so expensive, dude, because it's got all the Spider-Man villains in it. A lot of, well, not just Spider-Man villains, but almost all the Marvel villains.
You think that's why the fight scene was cut so short in Endgame? Because it just cost too much money to...
No, because they put in hella fluff scenes to get a bigger audience.
That's what I mean, though. It's like, that costs a lot of money.
I don't think they were trying to save money. I think that they were trying to give fans a huge experience by making this movie dragged out because they realized the hype's done. The hype is fucking done. Like, after this, nobody gives a fuck about the little shit unless we make them really, really good. So let's make this our standoff.
I just thought it was so funny that so many people were like, a masterpiece to finish the series, and I was like...
To be honest, I'm probably not going to watch the next Spider-Man.
I have to
Black
watch
Panther.
it. As a true Spider-Man believer, I have to watch it.
I'll watch it, but...
He's not my Spider-Man.
I just don't...
Hey, you say that about Christian Bale, so don't give me any flack.
So who's your Spider-Man? Topher Grace? Not Topher Grace.
Maybe they haven't made him yet.
Topher Grace.
I meant, as far as the actors that have played Spider-Man so far, he's probably one of the better ones.
Tobey Maguire in the first one.
It's hard because...
First and second one. Yeah, the second one was good.
Third one, yeah.
I won't listen
to
anything about the third one.
I'll never forget that we did school to watch that fucking...
That Venom was so bad.
Classic Christmas era. That was like Christmas style, right? Spider-Man 3, that was around Christmas.
It might have been.
Yeah, it was November or something like
some
that.
Shit, yeah, around Thanksgiving.
It was like around the same time Power and Skate Park opened.
Yep. And we used to sneak into there, a.k.a. it was totally open. We weren't breaking any rules.
While it was still in construction.
Yeah. It was still under construction, but we were invited.
Josh was about to get thrown down with the cop until he fucking pulled out his fucking
nightstick.
Yeah, his nightstick.
I was like, no,
Josh was like, what the fuck you... Oh,
yeah, I was. I really was. That's really what happened.
We almost got away, dude.
That was like 13.
Almost got away.
We were like 14 in middle school.